What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a Mustang with a broken ball joint. They said it was a strut, but when I looked underneath, I don't know if you can see it there, but the whole ball joint broke. So that's the problem. So now I could pick it up from the front, leave it running in neutral, and take it to the guy's house. But we're not going to do that because I don't like doing that, and I'll tell you why in a second. Part of that problem is if you load this car up from the front, every time you go and take off, the car is going to rock back and forth because the lower ball joint is not in place where it's supposed to be. So it's going to rock back and forth, possibly fall out, cause a bigger problem. So we're going to put it on dollies, but the first thing we're going to do is put air in the tire because the tire is low on the other side. So we'll set that up, we'll put some air in the tire, and then we'll load it up from the front, move it that way, and then load the front on dollies, and then tow it from the back. Again, I can possibly tow it from the front, just leave it running in neutral because mechanically it's fine, other than the ball joint. But I don't want to do that because every time you stop and go, you're gonna rock it back and forth, and I don't want to do that. So we'll put this on the seat. How did I get so far off? You know, it doesn't even matter. Neutral. Window, it's up to the lock. Fucking brings it down. Hear the wheel going into the fender. We're gonna drop it here. Probably gonna drop it on wood. But see how the strut is off the control arm? Control arm sitting over at the bottom. So that's the problem when it popped out. So now we're gonna drop it and load it up on dollies and all that other stuff. Let me grab some wood. Put this back in park. May have to drop it on the jack stand. Dropping it on the wood's gonna do two things. One, it's gonna give me clearance for the front bumper so I don't hit it and damage it coming out. Two, clearance again, because I gotta set the dollies up. So I may or may not have to jack it up just to get it centered on the dolly. Turn that wheel straight. Problem when you deal with these broken ball joints, everything falls apart. That locks in there. I've seen this happen a few times on Mustangs, the ball joint breaks, especially going over the train tracks. So like he was coming over the train track here, must have went over the train track and probably popped it out, and then as he backed up it fell off. But I've seen that before. Same situation, the guy had the whole front end done and popped right out of the ball joint. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a strap for the dollies on the other side, but I'll see what I can figure out. Started raining. I'm just glad it didn't downpour, because that sucks. But these jobs like this is when it's great for like having a rollback with a control arm skate, you know, for situations like that. Just jack it up, take off the wheel, put the control arm skate in place, lower it, and slide it right up the bed, and have no problems. Yeah, there's different ways of doing it and getting it done. And then I asked him which way he wanted it in the driveway. This way I know which way to load it, because some people would want it in the garage, you know. So if that's the case, then I'd load it backwards like this, and you know, hopefully have enough clearance to clear the garage. And if not, then I load it from the front and back it into the garage. But again, you kind of, you know, you got to choose what's going to be the best way for you to do it with, you know, without causing any extra damages. The control arm is, the ball joint's broken, so you can't, you know, guarantee them 100% you're not going to have any extra damage, because the second you go to move that car, jack it up or whatever, things will fall out of place and anything can get damaged. So you do your best to not cause any extra damage, you know. You let the customers know, you know, ahead of time, like, hey, you know, broken ball joint, this, that, and the other, anything could happen, you know, and you just try your best to not let anything happen. Alright, let's see if I can fit this on there. Let's see what's the best way of getting it done, because obviously I can't go behind the rim because it's touching. As you can see on the fender right here, it's touching. So let's see if we can make it work a different way. Kind of wishing I had a lasso strap, a small one. Let's see if we can put this in here. Should be able to go behind the caliper and come around. I'm not going far. I'm only going about 5 miles, I think. But, you know, if you know me, you know me. You know that I don't like chancing anything. Tighten it, should hold it right in place. Alright. Straps are nice and tight. That's nice and tight. Alright. That's pretty much it. Like I got this way, when I tow it, if I tow it the other way around, every time I move with the truck to take off and stop, that's gonna jerk. So at least like this, the car's just sitting on it. All right, so you put it back there, every time I go and give it gas and stop, because it's not connected to the ball joint, it's gonna rock back and forth and the car's gonna go back and forth. So put it on here, and now it's just sitting there, and that's it. So when I pull it, you know, it's gonna pull a little bit, but not like I would in the front. So that's pretty much it. So now I just take my photos and go deliver the vehicle and move on to the next one. I'll see you at the job. The hardest part is probably going to be popping the old ball joint out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, when you told me the strut and it's low, I'm like, you know, not that it's not possible, because I got a buddy of mine in Garner from Mateo's Towing.
Yeah.
He picked up a guy's car the other day, and this dude hit a pothole so damn hard that he literally blew the so the way the strut sits, like yours, it's got a clamp. The strut sits in it and then it clamps around it, the spindle. He hit it so hard that the spindle clamp ended up at the top. Like the strut was literally laying on the axle, like sitting on it. Wow. Yeah, and he's like, dude, what the hell did you hit? But he hit a pothole, but he must have been like, you know, moving, man, to do that. Yeah. I've never seen that happen. Yeah. But the bottom of the strut was literally like on the axle. Hi. Let's see. We can get this out now.
Bought this thing a couple months ago, dude.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it happened to the other guy with the Mustang, the same thing, the front. Yeah. And he hit the worst part was that he just got the whole front end done. Yeah. So I don't know if they didn't tighten it right, but the nut is what came out, so it caused the ball joint to pop out.
Yeah. Well, I'll get into it. I knew it was gonna be a project when I bought it, but
yeah. Like I said, you know, you can change the one for now, but make sure you change that second one as well. Like I would replace them all so that you don't have that issue. Right. And just make sure you go slow on the train tracks, man, because that, you know, those, when you go over the tracks and they hit like that, that's usually when it happens. Scrap tools. Gonna need the block of wood. Probably gonna need the jack too, because I need my block of wood. I gotta pick the angle up. It will not work properly if it's low, the speed. as everything has to be a pain in the butt. Yeah, no problem, man. I just gotta jack it up and get my my wood.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, jack it up, get my wood, take my photos, and I'm done. I gotta figure something out for this bag. I'd leave him the wood, but I don't have an extra piece of wood. I'm gonna have to stick this bag in the back of the truck again. Let me strap my dollies before I forget. I lost room in the tunnel box because now I got the fork attachment. So I got the forks and the receivers in the tunnel box now, so I lost some room. So I gotta figure out the best way to go about storing everything. Come on, wood. So let's roll forward. Definitely won't put your hands anywhere near there. Oh, it's messy. Yeah. Sorry, the truck is filthy. I've had a chance to clean it with all the freaking rain and crap we're dealing with. Alright, gonna take my photos. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, click on the notification bell, you get notified every time I upload a video. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.